It's probably no surprise to anyone at this point that Battlefield 1 is a game that's designed to be as inclusive as possible. That's to say, its mechanics and features allow anyone to just pick up the game, give it a try, and get into the action easily. Ever since the turn of the franchise back in 2008, with the release of Battlefield Bad Company, I think it's been moving in that direction anyway. But Battlefield 1 represented a big leap. Many veterans of the franchise are understandably a little bit miffed about this, and they preferred the way that things used to be. Everything evolves, however, and should any product really gain any popularity, then the company that made it widening its appeal is ultimately inevitable. But it does seem that DICE is determined to transform Battlefield 1 and tweak some of the settings to bring back a little bit of appeal to those veteran players. And so welcome to the Battlefield 1 Roots Initiative. This is currently live on the CTE, and it will be for the foreseeable future. Now, before I go any further, let me read you a statement left by David Serland, a lead developer at DICE on the subject, and it should give you a little bit of context as to why they're doing this. Today we're kicking off what we've chosen to call the Battlefield Roots Initiative, or BRI for short. Within this project, we're going to target areas important to experienced players and veterans of Battlefield. We will discuss issues, improve features, and reach conclusions. We will disagree, and we will have fierce discussions, but we feel it's high time we start to focus on this now. In the near future, we will be expanding on this through direct communication, so if you know of a great representative you think we should be talking to, let us know. And it seems alongside David, another person will be leading this project, Lars Gustafson. He's one of the original members of the DICE team, and he's worked on every single Battlefield title that's ever been released for the franchise. Now, I've met Lars a few times, and I worked with him on the Battlefield 1 reveal show, and he's just a goldmine of Battlefield history. I'd say there's no one better to be helping lead this initiative with David than Lars himself. And for context, David Serland was the developer at DICE LA who really drove the community test environment, or the CTE, with Battlefield 4, which was responsible for fixing many of Battlefield 4's legacy issues. We now have one of those for Battlefield 1. So where does this Roots initiative start then? Well, DICE is beginning with tweaks to the team play aspects of the game. Currently, the developers feel there is more work that can be done to improve the team play, deepen its impact on gameplay, and get players to communicate amongst each other. I'm sure you've seen the squad leader assigning different objectives for you to attack, or people typing in the team chat that they need help taking down a tank over at the C flag on Amiens. DICE want more of that, essentially. They want players to talk to each other, use the tools that the game gives you to work together, and improve the experience across the board. One area that they've highlighted specifically that they want to work on is the support classes' ammo pouches and crates. Now, we spoke about these the other day in my grenade spam video, and that the spam effect can be solved by improving the way that resupplying works in general. At the moment, DICE feels the only reason people really go looking for ammo is when they've spammed all of their gadgets and all of their grenades. And to address that, initially, they've done work on the resupply time for the grenades passively. That's when a grenade simply reappears in your inventory, even if you haven't been near an ammo pouch. Via ammo crates, DICE have added a time multiplier to those crates that speeds up the resupply of any grenade by 3 times, and the ammo pouches. Grenades are no longer resupplied by these. Now, these fixes are currently live on the Battlefield 1 CTE, and I can tell you, from having played over 25 hours of the CTE since the They Shall Not Pass content went on there, the grenade spam issue has been massively reduced. Grenades have been returned to a tactical asset, I'll call them, as opposed to a full-blown attacking weapon that they were beforehand. This means I can use my grenades to force enemy players to make a move, put them at a disadvantage, and then use my weapon to win the battle. Now, these changes haven't affected how dangerous the grenades can actually be. They haven't had their damage values changed or anything like that. I mean, a frag grenade will still kill you on occasion if you aren't paying attention, but more than likely someone has thrown that grenade to flush you out of cover, make you make a move, and then will try and pick you off. The exception to that, where people are still spamming grenades, is on the new map, Fort de Vaux. And DICE is fully aware of that this map may result in different scenarios even with the changed grenade timings. Currently, from the data that DICE has collected from the CTE, they feel the changes have made a positive impact on the game. And ultimately, I do agree. But there are a few more tweaks that they want to make. The passive resupply time for all grenades is going to be balanced a little bit more, taking into account the average time a player's life is before they die. They want to make sure that a player doesn't get too many grenades in one life, and that will limit the spam a little bit. They're also looking directly into Fort de Vaux and are working to see what can be done there to further reduce the presence of grenades on the map. The way it's designed currently still allows small groups of people to lock down choke points with grenades alone. They don't even need to use their weapons, they can just continue spamming grenades. If I can give you a quick analogy here, having played a lot of Fort de Vaux now, the grenade spam issue on that map is basically a milder form of the grenade spam issue that's in Battlefield 1 right now. And when that XP pack comes out, the first DLC, that means only one of the maps in the entirety of Battlefield 1 will have more of a grenade spam problem than any of the other maps if DICE decide to implement these grenade changes. That means overall, in most of the maps in the game, you're not going to have as much of an issue as you had before. So with all of that being the current progress towards the team play aspect of the Roots initiative, what else are DICE looking to do here? Well, one of the bigger items on their list is to create a proper area of effect system for the gas grenades. So in short, this will allow certain objects to block the flow of gas, such as walls, but it will still allow the gas to go round other objects, like rocks. At the moment in the game, it doesn't have the facility to identify whether it's a rock or whether it's a wall, and therefore that's why gas leaks through the wall. That causes a lot of frustration among players taking cover, and the gas still getting through. Nice to hear they're working on that. They're also looking into how gadget ammunition is supplied as well, in the same way as they did with grenades. Currently in Battlefield 1, a support player can resupply a medic with 12 rifle grenades in a row without a delay. Just think of the spam, that's absolutely ridiculous. Because of the first DLC approaching quite fast, DICE worked on the grenades first, and then they will be attempting the gadgets soon. And another small mention at the bottom of the page, we want to reduce the impact of support and medic players not paying attention to their teammates. Could this mean that DICE are looking to implement a similar system to Battlefield Hardline, where players can take ammunition or health off of support and medic soldiers without needing to ask them for it, or even placing health and ammo stations onto the map somewhere, so that players can resupply and heal up without needing their teammates? That could be a really interesting path to look at, as it almost goes completely against that team play aspect that DICE is trying so hard to improve in this game. I've linked a Reddit thread down in the comments section and the description that takes you to the Roots initiative thread, so that you can go and read it for yourself if you like, or you can submit your own feedback and opinions to the DICE team. The reason this is on the CTE is so that they can test new ideas, collect the data from the engine, and then implement those changes into the main game in a patch if it worked out. So then, interesting times for veterans of the franchise. It seems there are some developers over at DICE that feel the game needs a little bit of tweaking to bring back some of those core values that have always been present in Battlefield games. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you get over to that Reddit thread and submit your opinions and your thoughts. If you're on the CTE, that's even better because you can go and try these new changes out. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.